Everyone, so thank you for joining me for this tutorial today about Andy Warhol inspired art. And what we're going to really focus on in this project are a few things. So the first thing is looking at the sources of inspiration all around us, even in the most everyday objects. So for example, the soup cans, Campbell soup cans that Andy Warhol focused on for his artwork. He took something that's really just an everyday item, a food item, and he elevated it or brought it up to art. The other thing that I want to focus on is repetition. So that's an idea in art, and it basically means that we take something and by repeating it or by making it again and again, it actually makes more of an impact. So it makes us think about things in a different way. So I'm going to show you some ideas. I did give you some ideas of how to get started, maybe using a cupcake motif, but we're going to focus on another one that I think you might find fun. But for today, the first thing we're going to start with is setting up our paper. So as you can see, most of the things that Andy Warhol did as far as his everyday objects were set up in kind of a grid form. So it means like everything has little boxes. So the key thing that we want to do is to make sure when we create our artwork on our page that we are setting it up so it's spaced out nicely, okay? And that's kind of going to be the key thing. So I have a just plain piece of paper here, and I'm going to show you how we're going to do that. So we're going to focus on our key to be working on 6 drawings, okay? I do not know what happened to my ruler because my family likes to use some of my supplies too. So I'm actually using this, you guys, as my straight edge, the edge of my little paint thing here. So I'm going to go ahead right in the center. Again, I don't have my ruler, so I'm not measuring. I'm just I don't want to totally fold my paper in half because I don't want those crease lines, but I'm looking just towards the middle. And again, it does not have to be completely perfect, but I'm just going to go ahead, and I am using pencil in this. So I'm sorry, it won't be as visible as Sharpie, but I want to keep my lines pretty light. Okay. So my first line, you'll see it's a little bit bumpy because of my tray here, but we're going to go with it. And then I'm going to go ahead, and so you'll see if we want to do 6 pieces or parts of our page, you can go like this and like this. And I'm going to use this as my straight edge. So I'm just kind of estimating that. And I'll give you another idea too in a moment. If you happen to have index cards at home is another idea. So I'll mention that in a second. So set that up and that. Again, we're not looking for perfection. We're just making sure that we give each item its own space. Okay? So there we go. Into 6 parts. Just boxes, no big deal. Now the other thing you can do, a little strategy I thought of, is if you happen to have index cards at home, like the little index cards, you could probably just draw the art on those and then you could glue it on another page. If you wanted to do that, you could trim them down a little bit so they're about the size of these boxes. Just another idea, okay? So you have the cupcake that I gave to you that you can use as an inspiration, or you can obviously use anything that you really enjoy. I mean, it could be a gaming console or anything like that. What I decided to do is something that we pretty much all, I think, have at home, and something that's very useful in my home because my daughter's in 2nd grade, so we are using this a lot. And talk about everyday objects. This is an everyday object right now, is our iPad. So I figured I'm going to draw an iPad, and that's my inspiration. It's something we use every day. It's important to us right now. We need it. And it's cool. It has a lot of cool functions on it. And I have to tell you, I love, love, love our apps on there. So this is my inspiration. So I'm going to draw an iPad. You're welcome to do the same. Or if you have something that you really like at home, you're welcome to do that too. So please feel free to use anything for inspiration that you like. So the key is I'm going to use Sharpie just so this will show up well, but please do use pencil because it'll give you a chance to make fix anything that you need to. So with my iPad, it's very graphic, it's very simple, just like a lot of Andy Warhol's work. So I'm really just starting obviously with the outside edge. So it's a rounded rectangle. So I'm just going to go ahead and set that up on my paper. So I'm going to do a rounded rectangle shape. Really simple. And my outlines are not as perfect as I would like. If I were working in pencil, I would certainly fix my first one. I don't love how that came out, but you get the idea. Now with an iPad, obviously the screen is kind of set inside. So I'm going to do another, it's called a concentric shape, meaning that it's inside another. Okay, so that is the start of my outline of my iPad. Now, as I'm looking at the details of it, there's obviously, the small parts of it, our button to operate with, and, all of our other features over here. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to add those details. So I'm going to set it up. I'm going to move it this way so I'm kind of matching what I'm doing over here. There's 2 circles on the side. There's kind of a trapezoid button, so using one of our math geometry words. And then there's our other button over here with a little bit of a line around it. Okay, so you can see it's starting to look a little bit more like an iPad. And I'm just going to continue that pattern all the way down. My little trapezoid over here. And my circle with an oval around it. And then I'll just continue working down the whole entire way. So I just want to make sure I get all my details in. Again, they're really simple shapes, but the cool part about Andy Warhol is that the repetition, like I mentioned, adds more interest. The more you're looking at something, the more you start to notice patterns, the more you start to notice the artistry, even in really simple things and the way that they're designed, because everything has something unique about it, and everything can have an artistic quality, even something as everyday as the things we use for technology. So that's my start of my iPad, okay? And we're going to just work on this for this week, is just setting up our paper for the 6 pieces, and then going ahead and just adding in our outline and our sketch details. So again, I use Sharpie. Please use pencil so that you can fix anything you need to. And then what we'll do is next week, we're going to focus on the type of colors that Andy uses to make his work as vibrant and colorful as possible. So I hope you enjoy this. I hope you find something really interesting. Again, you're welcome to use my cupcake sample. You can use the iPad sample that I just did, or you can certainly find something of your own that inspires you. All right, see you next time.